Hey Qween!
I wanted to play the game.
Right.
You know, I wanted to like do the challenges, do the art, and not spend a bunch of time with that, you know? And so, and Morgan and I get along great. I really love her, and we have actually gotten much closer since All Stars. But yeah, I was basically just like, I won. I'm gonna curate the show I want to be on a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and you kept winning. You won 5 out of the 6 challenges. Now, we get to the point, the moment.
Yes.
Where you decided that you were going to send yourself home. Now, it was the gag of all gags. Am I right about that, everyone?
The gag of the season.
Yes, I am. Cheers. Cheers to your gagging them all.
Thank you.
So, let's really go there. You haven't really talked about this, and I just want to know I want to know everything.
Yeah.
So, you're there. You know that this is part of the game, that you have to eliminate people. Where are you in your head when you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore? What were your thoughts, and what was leading up to that?
Whew, everything was leading up to it. It was, the way I think about it and describe it a lot is, you know that movie Signs, that M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong thing?
Yeah.
And all the aliens are like invading Earth or whatever, and Mel Gibson doesn't know why his like kid leaves water glasses around and why all these things happen.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that you hit water glasses with a baseball bat and it kills all the aliens.
Yeah.
But he only like finds that out in the end. It's like all the dots connect. So I had essentially really struggled with going on All Stars because I do not like the elimination format. I think that it is an unnecessary way to drum up drama and pit queens against each other that is not, it's not part of what I'm interested in. And so, like I said, there was this back and forth about, am I gonna do this? And it felt like kind of a no-win situation where I was going to regret something about saying yes or something about saying no. And I never expected to do as well as I did, but I went on. I won a lot.
Yes, you did.
And did not expect that.
Yeah.
And every time felt that kind of pit in my stomach about having to eliminate girls, and it feeling like I was kind of compromising something. And so I just found myself in this unique position. And Trixie and I had been joking off camera a lot about how we were like, this elimination thing was so stressful that at some point we were just gonna take a lipstick and we were gonna write like Michelle's name on it or something. So we'd had this kind of like ongoing gag about that. And then it was happening, and it was like all the girls who were in the top were so upset about the idea that, you know, one of them would have to leave and one of the girls who had already been eliminated would have to come back. I mean, everybody was just upset. It was also, you know, the day that everybody sat around that table and there was so much tension. And I was just like miserable that day. I was like off camera just crying. I was just like, I hate this conflict. And I just realized like, oh, I am in this very unique situation where I'm in a position of power. I've already proved myself in the way that I wanted to prove myself, which is that the way I care about, which is that I'm good at shit.
Yeah.
And there is this bizarre circumstance in which I get to have both of the things I wanted.
Yeah.
That I never thought I would get to have. I got to prove myself. I got to break a whole bunch of Drag Race records. And you know, barring some crazy Drag Race shenanigans, I probably would have won.
Probably, yeah. It seemed like that was on the horizon.
And but I didn't. I'd gotten all of that already, and I got to be like, yeah, thank you so much, but I don't agree with the system, and I don't have to go along with it. And so it was kind of this thing where all the things just added up to me being in the position to do that, and it was a very quick decision. But the final piece, the final glass of water that you hit with a baseball bat, is that I remembered from episode 2 that Thorgy Thor paints her fingernails with whiteout. Now, there's no whiteout in the workroom, but they'd brought all the girls back. And so I knew that there was whiteout in the workroom. And I went and I found Thorgy and I said, girl, is that whiteout still in your bag? And she was like, what do you need it for? And I was like, don't worry about it.
Ooh, bitch.
But it all just came together. It was like if she had not been in that room, it couldn't have happened. It was just all these things came together. And honestly, I feel like it's one of the strongest decisions I've ever made. And you know, I went in there and did well from making bold choices and taking risks. And I think that risk paid off as well, so.
Yeah. So you're there. You've secretly done the whiteout.
Yeah.
Now, where did you hide to write your own name on the lipstick?
you can't hide because,
Right.
you know, you're doing all that hand acting in front of the lipstick box.
Mm-hmm.
And they direct you for so long. They're like, now drum your nails to the right. Okay, now drum your nails to the left. Now take dictation. So they're filming all that, and I had snuck the Sharpie and the whiteout into my bra, like just while I was changing for the lip sync.
Yes.
And so, you know, there's like 10 hours of this, and then you have to, you know, like, okay, decide which one you're doing, and then you like pick the lipstick, and then I picked it up, and I just, as quickly as, it was still on camera, but I, as quickly as humanly possible, pulled the thing out, scribbled it out, and wrote the name, which was so sloppy, right? It was like, you could barely read DeLa,
Right.
but I was doing it as fast as possible, because I was like, you know, if I pause on this, somebody might stop me.
Yeah.
But if I just can do this quickly before anybody can pull the plug, then it's just what's happening.
How much time was from that to when you were on the runway to reveal?
Oh my God, years.
Because there could have been some PA who was like, seems like she's just written her own name on the lipstick.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's on camera. Like, people
Yeah.
knew somewhere. Like, I have no idea how production works. Like, I don't pretend to understand the behind the scenes. But, you know, there's a cameraman who's as far from me as you were, who's looking at it, and there's a director in the room, and so they saw, and so somewhere somebodies were deciding what to do about it.
Interesting.
I genuinely believe that none of the judges knew. I don't think Ru knew.
Right.
I don't. I think her reaction was genuine. But yeah, I think it was kind of a thing where this is such a great TV moment. I kind of know they won't stop me.
Yeah.
I know they'll let it happen because it's the gag of the season.
It's the gag of the century. And then, so you do it, you reveal, jaws drop, faces
Oh, it was
crack.
like PAs started running out from behind curtains. There were people on radios. It was so crazy. And I was really focused looking at Ru and trying to kind of like respectfully tell her, like really be like, thank you so much. Like, you've been like an icon to me and a light in the dark when I didn't know there was anyone like me out there. You've given me 2 incredible opportunities. I hope you don't see this as a sign of disrespect. This is really just like, this is the decision I have to make for me. And I was so focused on making sure that she heard me, because it was really important to me that she didn't feel like what I was doing was some sort of like an F you know? And so I was so focused on that, but it was actually a lot of the other girls afterwards who were like, told me about the chaos that was happening around me, and I was just like, gotta tell Ru. Yeah.
Right. So you get home from that, and did you just finally sit in your own living room and be like, fuck, I just left All Stars and I might have won?
Oh, I wish. Instead, I was locked in a hotel room for another week because we had to go and vote at the final thing, that terrible thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, so it was this huge moment of relief, right? I'm like, wow, I did it. I feel so good about this decision. And then they're like, okay, cool. Well, we're not sending you home. You're gonna go and sit in a hotel room by yourself for a week and think about what you've done. And then we'll bring you back and we'll force you to do the thing you left so you wouldn't have to do.
Right, oh God.
So that was great. Yeah, once I got home after all of that, there was certainly like, it was the same as season 6. I was like, I have no idea how any of this is gonna be edited, be aired, how it'll come off, what I even seemed like, how people will respond. And like season 6, it was like a huge relief where I saw it air and I was like, yeah, I really stand by this.
And then suddenly you levitated, a cross appeared behind you, and the heavens sang,
It's
and you became
true. I hid out in a cave for a few days. It was fun. You know, people talk a lot about it being sort of like, oh, she's so selfless, or like, no, she's not selfless. And I'm like, no, I'm not selfless. This is for multiple reasons, you know? And the main reason is that I want to live life and play by my rules, and, you know, and so that's not selfless. It was like, I don't want to participate in this part. That's about me. Bye.
That's very bold, my dear. Very bold. So you became BenDeLaCreme. Everyone there was all the drama, all the attention, and then you could really just write your own ticket from there. Who needs the $100,000 when I'm sure in bookings that came pretty much the same way?
Yeah, you know, it all comes out in the wash. There's so much emphasis on the structure of the show and like who wins and how important that is. And it is important. It's very important to some people, and I'm certainly not going to discredit the importance of that to the people who want it, you know? But there's a lot of ways to be successful after Drag Race, and that's one of them. But you also have to put in the work whether you get the crown or not, you know? I mean, Trixie's the best example of that pre-All-Stars.
Totally.
You know? Alaska, after her initial season, it's like, you know, I mean, Shangela too is just like somebody who is like, I mean, everybody's like, oh, poor Shangela. Like, you know, of course, I'm sure she's sad she didn't get the crown because I know she really wanted it. But Shangela's doing great, you guys.
Yeah, she's not crying. She's too busy on her 188 city tour.
Exactly.
Well, let's just get a few statistics on the record, okay? You were the first to win 4 main challenges in a row. You were the first to win Snatch Game twice. The first to win 5 challenges in a single season. And the first competitor to win 2 challenges on 2 separate seasons.
Ricka-ticka-ta.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
sweetie.
you.
I mean, talk about carving your own way through something that is quite precarious.
Ooh, it's wild. Thank you.
What is next? What is next? You really are able to pave your own road, do what you want. What do you have coming up in the future of BenDeLa?
Yeah, so this year is, you know, after season 6, I was doing like a ton of club bookings, and I did quite a bit of that right after All Stars 3. But now I'm really trying to focus on just like lasering in on the more theatrical stuff. So this year, I'm basically right after this, I'll be doing Haters Roast and some other kind of touring smaller gigs. But I basically am taking time off to write my next solo show, which I'll then premiere, and I'll be doing. It's actually, I'm going to be writing the solo show, then I'm going to go off and do a month of Drag Becomes Her with Peaches and Jinkx, then I'm going to come back and premiere it. So let's see how that works out.
All right.
But I'll be doing that in New York, and then I'll do the summer in Provincetown, and then I'll go back to Seattle, and I'll be doing my Halloween show again. That's the first play I've ever written and directed. So this will be the 3rd year of that. And then Jinkx and I will go back on tour with a new Christmas show. And then it will be 2020.
Wow. She's a busy bitch, sweetie. Yes. Give it up for BenDeLaCreme. Honey, thank you for being here. I'm so happy we finally got you.
Thank you.
And you know what? You turned it so fiercely, not just here, not just on Drag Race once, not just on All Stars, but just in general, you turned it so fiercely that you snatched the trophy, honey! Yeah! Who needs the All Stars crown when you have this?
Thank you. Look at this. Oh my goodness.
So it's very impressive.
Cheerleaders of America.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And your man is here in the audience, but I hope he won't mind. We got you a lap dance.
Oh my goodness. Well, hi.
There's some swinging and flinging going on.
This is fun.
Oh my, yeah, that's right. And get it good. That's right. Oh, look at the multicolor underwear. Thank you for
Look
that.
at that. It's like a Jackson Pollock.
It is.
Oh, I love
He's
that.
used to getting splattered. That's
I went to art school. I can truly appreciate
yes,
this.
You can. Lady Red, take us out with some Black Lady Screaming.
Oh, and he smells good too.
Hey Qween, hey Qween, hey Qween, oh BenDeLaCreme, oh hey Qween, yeah. Oh well, thank you all for watching. We're not done with Ben because we are going to make sure she looks at all the girls and look it off. Thank you, Lady Red. Thank you, Gurky. And thank all of you, but mostly thanks to BenDeLaCreme. And we'll see you next time on Hey Qween. Bye, baby. See you later, camera. Fly away, camera.
Bye.
Okay, Lady Red, we're rolling in 5, 4, 3.
Hello, children. Are you ready for some cutting up and kikiing? Are you ready for a gay old time? Well, I hope you are. Because now it's time for Hey Qween, sorry. Shit. Hello, children. Are you ready for some cutting up and kikiing? Are you ready for a gay old time? Well, I hope you are. Because now it's time for Hey Qween Season 7 premiere with your host, Jonny. Sorry. Hello, children. Are you ready for some cutting up and kikiing? Are you ready for a gay old time? Well, I hope you are, because now it's time for Hey Qween 7... Seashells by the seashore. Okay. Hello, children. Are you ready for some cutting up... Yeah.
Well, I know now what I want to put at the end of the show.
We got a blue.
Sorry.